I love blueberry pie, and guess what? So do you, because blueberry pie is ranked annually in the top 5 pies in America. But I think we can do better than 5. Let's raise this to number 1. And Ashley's here. She's got just the right blueberry pie recipe.
You better believe it. This pie is all about the blueberries. And not just any blueberries. The peak summertime blueberries that you find at the road stands. Oh my gosh, you can't get anything better than
Right?
So we're gonna use a graham cracker crust for this. This is 12 graham crackers that I've torn into pieces. But what's more important is the weight. So this is 6.5 ounces total. Now, different brands have different weights per cracker.
Okay.
So I'm gonna process this for 30 seconds until the graham crackers are finely ground. All right. So this is 2 tablespoons of sugar, and I've got just a pinch of salt, and I'm just gonna give this 3 pulses just to combine everything.
Okay.
And finally, just to bring it all together, I've got 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter that's been melted.
Okay.
I'm gonna give this 8 pulses. I'm gonna transfer the graham crackers to our 9-inch pie plate. All right, I'm gonna use the bottom of this dry 1 cup measure, and the dry cup measure is gonna help to evenly disperse the graham crackers throughout the pie plate. And then once it gets nice and even on the sides, I'm gonna use my thumb just to guide it along. And I'm packing it pretty firmly. All right, Bridget, that is looking pretty good. And I'm gonna actually bake the crust first before we go any further with the blueberry filling.
Okay.
I've got an oven preheated to 325 degrees, and I'm gonna bake this for 16 to 18 minutes until the pie crust is beginning to brown. Now let's move on to the filling while the crust is baking. I'm gonna process 2 cups of these blueberries for about 2 minutes until they are totally smooth. I think we're in good shape, but let me just go back in. Yep, let's move on down to the stovetop. So this is a 1/2 cup of sugar. This is 4 teaspoons of cornstarch and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
I'm just gonna whisk this together. You'll notice that I don't have the heat on at this point. I'm gonna put this strainer right over the saucepan because that's gonna help to collect the skins and any of the seeds, so it's gonna be a smoother texture of the pie. Now I'm gonna use the whisk, help push the blueberries through the strainer. So still off heat. I'm just gonna whisk this now just to combine everything before I turn the heat on. Now I'm gonna turn the heat to medium, and I'm gonna bring this filling to a simmer.
Okay.
And you wanna be sure just to whisk this while the filling is coming up to a simmer.
Okay.
We are at 1 minute, and that is looking perfect. Now off the heat, I'm gonna add a little bit of lemon juice. That's 1 tablespoon. Almost done. I'm gonna reserve 2 tablespoons for the topping. All right, so we are done here. The last thing I need to do is add a few more blueberries. This is 2 3/4 cups of blueberries. We're gonna have that really amazing velvety soft blueberry filling. So good. All right, so this is done at this stage. I'm gonna go check on the crust, then we're gonna move on to the topping.
Sounds great. We'll get you right back to the video. Check out Cook's Country's newest book, The Complete Cook's Country TV Show Cookbook. Over 16 seasons and more than 600 recipes are condensed into this cookbook, jam-packed with every recipe we feature on the show, plus stories, tips, and reviews. Go on the road with Cook's Country and tour the U.S. through food. Get inspired by dishes from restaurants, regions, and chefs all over America. All in this one convenient cookbook. To order your copy of the Complete Cook's Country TV Show Cookbook, scan the QR code or visit cookscountry.com to continue your Cook's Country journey.
Here is our crust, beautifully baked, and now it's time to add the filling. All right, I'm just gonna put this into an even layer here. We're gonna take this to the next level. We're gonna be adding a little bit of cream cheese to the topping, and it's gonna make your brain think that you're eating a blueberry cheesecake. So this is 8 ounces of softened cream cheese, and I've got a 1/4 cup of sugar, and a little bit of vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon. And now the first step here is I'm going to whisk this cream cheese for about 2 minutes until it's super smooth.
Okay.
Step 1
All right.
is done. I'm just gonna wipe down the bowl one more time. So with this mixer running, I'm gonna add 1 cup of some chilled heavy cream. I lowered the speed just a little bit just to make sure it didn't splash up at us.
I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. All right, now I'm gonna slowly increase it, just to medium high. And I'm gonna let this go for about 1 to 3 minutes. I'm gonna be looking for stiff peaks.
Okay.
That's a stiff peak if I ever saw one.
That is stiff peak.
So I've got a piping bag. It's with a fitted closed star tip. If you don't have a piping bag, no worries. We've got instructions for how to use a substitute on our website.
Perfect.
Now we've got the reserved blueberry mixture from earlier. Again, that's 2 tablespoons. All right, so I folded it over. Now I'm going to go in and just use a regular table knife and going all the way down into the star tip. I'm gonna work the filling all the way up. I'm gonna make 3 stripes in total. Now this next part feels a little wrong, but it's right. I'm gonna load up the spatula with the filling here, and I'm gonna just flop it on in. You don't want it to really bring down the streaks of that filling.
Gotcha. Just plopping it in the middle as best you can. Gotcha.
And it's perfect. I'm using this glass just to kind of collect anything that would have spilled out. Getting all the air out as much as possible. I'm gonna turn this over, right side up, and twist, twist, twist. Okay, so now we're gonna be making some rosettes. I'm gonna go into the center and make 3 rosettes first.
How pretty.
Isn't that awesome? Because of the stripes along the side.
Oh, how pretty is
Isn't
that?
that pretty? There isn't enough room for me to make more rosettes. So I've got this beautiful star tip. I'm gonna go in there and just squeeze ever so gently and make some stars.
Oh, love it.
I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator for a minimum of 4 hours, but it can hang out in there for up to 24 hours.
Oh, that's handy.
Mm-hmm. That was a long 4 hours.
It was really long.
Really long.
Yeah.
But it's an important step because you want everything to cool down. It's gonna be much easier to slice this way.
Okay, sold.
All right, so I like to use a boning knife. There we go. Perfect.
All right. It's spectacular. All right. First bite, got a little bit of everything, a little bit of crust, a little bit of cream cheese topping, and a whole lot of blueberry. Best part, where to start,
I
right?
know.
But that jammy filling, you get a pop of fresh blueberry. Gorgeous, because that was only in that saucepan just for a minute.
I can really taste the lemon juice too. Not overpowering, it just gives a little bit of acidity to balance everything out.
It sure does. That topping is ethereal.
For full episodes of your favorite cooking shows, head over to ATK's Full Episodes channel on YouTube. You can stream complete seasons of America's Test Kitchen, Cook's Country, and more. See you there.